What is happening, guys? Welcome back to Rock Guitar School. So, I just wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about my Charvel SoCal. This is the Pharaoh's Gold Hardtail. Now, I got this guitar 2 years ago, so I figured it'd be time to do a little update, just how the guitar is. Obviously, I still have it, so that's a good thing. You know, sometimes I've had guitars and they just don't quite work out for whatever reason. You have them for a week, or you get them, you open up the box, you start playing it, it's like something just doesn't feel quite right here. Whether it's the neck, the frets, whatever the reason is, it just doesn't feel great. So 2 years later, I still have this guitar. You can see my old guy in the back there. That's the 87. I think it's an 87, yeah. The black Charvel, which is I had done up a couple years back with humbuckers. Used to have single coils on it. So this one plays really great. A lot different than this one. You know, definitely old school Charvel. This one is definitely a player's guitar. I mean, professional. Like I said, this guitar was purchased 2 years ago. You can check out the video that I did all about it too when I got the guitar. So, very impressed with this guitar. Like I said, it's the Pharaoh's Gold. And when I got it, I didn't actually realize how flat that gold really is. And it is a flat color. It's got Duncan distortions. The volume has a push-pull. So when you pull it, that splits up the coils. So it gets you that single coils. And then this is what I really like. Because I don't use tone. This basically bypasses the tone. So you can hear it. When you hear that click, basically the tone circuit is completely out. So it kills the tone. I mean, if I was designing this guitar, if I had it custom made myself, I would probably eliminate the tone altogether. The funny thing is, you have a lot of guys tell you, I've heard this so much, that the tone doesn't matter. Like if you say, basically eliminate it, you're not using the all the way down, basically you've got it turned all the way up, which is basically a clean sound. It's not muffled or anything. You guys know what a tone knob does. So, I've never preferred that. So I've always, I was playing jazz for a little bit, so you work the tone a little bit. But I've always been the guy that, like, I just don't like what that does to the tone of the guitar. So I've had guys tell me, look, if you just have a volume knob, it doesn't make a difference. Like, it's going to be the same sound, same output. I'm going to say a hard no on that one, because you can actually tell when that little click is activated. So, like, you'll be playing and then it just opens it up. It's very subtle, and guitar players are known to just nitpick, like myself, and you can hear it, and it just opens up the guitar. I can tell when it's maybe, I hit it by accident. So that's one thing about it. This guitar, and I said it in the video that I originally did about this guitar, is a lot like my older Fender, which was basically a hot-rodded Strat. I had the little LIL Seymour Duncans in there, the JB and the 59. And I think it was a duck bucker in the bridge. I think I got videos about that too. Man, I got videos about everything on here. So the shocking thing was, when I got the guitar, was how well it played straight out of the box. I mean, it came from Sweetwater, so if you know the story, I bought the guitar from Amazon, but it came from Sweetwater. So it was all set up. They did all their inspections and whatever. But the way that the guitar comes is Awesome. So, like, you can kind of see the nut. It's pretty high. You know, it's not like a normal, say, like on a regular Strat. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure the height there. I'm sure you guys could get that information somewhere, but I didn't realize on these new Charvels that the height of the nut is particularly, I guess, I mean, it's different than what I'm used to, which is basically like a regular Strat. So the funny thing is with that guitar is when I had it set up a long time ago, they made it into basically what this is, and they raised the nut, and the wonders that does is just like it's like night and day. The way that, I mean, it almost like say if you did that to just a regular Strat like I did, it's gonna turn that guitar into basically what this guitar is. So essentially what the Charvels are, this guitar is a super Strat. That's why I like it so much. I think that was a long-winded explanation about it, but that's basically what it is. I mean, this guitar, I've gigged with it. I haven't been gigging too much. I did a church gig with it, and it did phenomenally. The pickups are amazing. I like them a lot more. That guitar in the back has a JB in the bridge and a Jazz in the neck. And like I said, where I'm coming from, that old school Fender, that guitar that I used to gig with, the gold guitar, which I don't have out right now. I was into the JB, you know, in the 59 neck. So I was a little concerned. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna like these pickups. So the Duncan Distortions. So then I started playing it. You know, again, I took it out of the box. You know, if something's for you I mean, I can tell within the first couple of minutes, literally when I pick it up, start playing, even if something like an amp, or even if, like, you know, you got to tweak the guitar, you got to tweak the amp. You can just tell if something's good or not, or if something's, you know, if it's going to be something that you're into. Right off the bat, these distortions, Duncan Distortions, and I said this before, they've just got it's like a more modern sound. So I don't know what they did as far as, it just sounds like the mids are a little bit scooped, and maybe a tad more gain than, say, a JB. But it's very similar. I mean, I noticed like all the Seymour Duncans are kind of similar. I mean, I haven't played, you know, every single Duncan pickup, but these Duncan Distortions, like I said, this guitar, 2 years later, you can take a look at the back. So I did add some decorative stickers. You got to have the flux capacitor, right? Little Ernie ball. I was actually going to stick that on my car, but I didn't want to ruin it. So stuck it on the back of the guitar. I like how the strings go through the back like that. Again, everything about it is just sleek. Now, these are made in Mexico. It's still got the San Dimas, you know, that's the Charvel headquarters. My old guy back there has a Texas neck plate, even though the guitar, I think, was made in Japan. I think this is one of those guys, just to kind of get off a little bit. This is, I believe it was made when I was doing research about this one a while back. I think it was made in the ESP factory. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's where they made those back in the day. Really cool guitar. And again, I think I have a video on that one somewhere. Been a while since I've been doing YouTube, guys. So I'm a big fan of the strap locks. So this is another, if you guys have this guitar, you're thinking about getting it, these strap locks are fantastic. I've had these on a number of different guitars over the years. I've got one on this guy back here too. You can see that. Little neon green action. But on this guy, I've got the purple. So let's see, what do we go over? Hardtail. It's got the 3 selector switch. Honestly, guys, you don't really need much more than that from me. When I do clean, I usually do the middle position. Neck, you're going to get the Petrucci. If you're into the jazz thing, bridge, straight up Van Halen, Eddie Van Halen, AC/DC, your rock, power chords, lead tones. It's fantastic. I'm a guy that kind of goes like this, bridge, neck, and I use the middle for clean. I don't really use the middle on if I'm doing like distortion type of stuff. The neck, I thought it was rosewood, but apparently I just looked it up. So apparently it's ebony. It doesn't look quite as, well, I mean, as you can kind of, as I'm looking at it now, it does look pretty dark. So apparently it's ebony. So that would be that. You got the headstock. Let's look at the tuning. So what do you got here? Charvel tuners. You can see the little factory logos on there, factory stickers. So that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, I don't think I just looked it up. I didn't see these guitars for sale. I don't think they're selling them anymore. So you can find them used, which is pretty cool. I paid about $9.50, I believe. And like I said, I bought it through Amazon, mainly because I had a gift card for Amazon, so I needed to use it. And that's a pretty cool trick that you can do. It's gear nuts. So if you look up gear nuts on Amazon, pretty much that's Sweetwater. And you can find the deals on there. You can find like open box stuff. And the funny thing is, like, if you go on the Sweetwater website, you can go vice versa. You'll find something on Sweetwater and then check Amazon, see if it's over there. If you got a gift card or something. But this guitar is great. I've got no complaints about it. Not thinking of trading it in or selling it. I wouldn't. And it plays even better. I've had it set up a couple of times from a guy like in town. That's always good to get it. But it's so easy to adjust. I mean, honestly, like, last time I got it set up was probably a year ago. But I've just done minor tweaks. It does have the truss rod adjustment there, which is pretty cool. So you can kind of go on the fly with that, which I've done, which I've never really done in the past. I've never really messed with the truss rod too much on my own. I've always had others set it up for me, but I'm in Florida, so the humidity down here can drive us crazy sometimes, but can make the guitars out of whack. So I'm a very technical guy, and I can tell right off the bat, I'm like, maybe the action feels a bit too high. Then it's just a quick adjustment of the truss rod, super easy with the wheel in here. Whoever designed that is a genius. It's so easy. Just a quick adjustment, and you're good to go. No need for messing with the bridge or the saddles, and pretty much those stay where they are. I've been a hardtail guitar player for a long time. Last guitar that I had a whammy bar on I had a Music Man, Eddie Van Halen. So I've always been hardtail, especially on gigs. It's just so much easier if I need to change a string. I don't like going, trying to get into a Floyd Rose and tearing it apart. You just don't have time. So it's just easy, quick. You can, and especially with these, the way the guitar is designed, obviously you can see I'm using the Diodarios. So if you guys have any questions, if you guys have this guitar, let me know. Let me know what you think. It's very light too. It's lighter a little bit lighter than that guitar back there. It's sleek too. The newer Charvels feel, I don't know if they're making the bodies like maybe a little bit thinner than some of the old ones, but the guitar feels great. Again, after 2 years, still very happy with this guitar. No issues whatsoever. Again, that nut, that is very, very important to the way this guitar plays and having this raised. And like I said, when I had my old guitar, which I still have, that old Fender, which was, it was basically a Frankenstein type of guitar, because I had so many different parts in it. That's really what the trick of that guitar. And I tried other guitars, and I never could quite figure it out. I'm like, why is this guitar play so much different? And I never realized that I had it set up back in the day, and what they did was there was a shimmy inside that on that old guitar. They put like a little shimmy, and it raised it up. But Charvels, that's what they do automatically with these guitars. So again, guitar is great. Very happy. Maybe I'll do some playing today. Yeah. But I was actually thinking of getting this. They have this guitar with, it's a San Dimas. And I got it in. This is Pharaoh's. Did I mention Pharaoh's Gold? The guitar is in Pharaoh's Gold. And they have one in a San Dimas model, which is basically without the pick guard, and it's got the whammy bar. So it'd be kind of nice to have a little adjacent guitar that has a whammy bar. Very similar guitar to this, but yeah, this is my number one, and I love it. 2 years later, still awesome. All right, guys, you guys have a great day, and rock on.